The phone rang at 2 a.m., a shrill cry slicing through the silence of Elias Carter's Seattle apartment. He stumbled out of bed, heart pounding, the weight of his grandmother's funeral still clinging to him like damp fog. Who calls at this hour, and why now, when grief already felt like a second skin? Elias, 26, a black graphic designer with a quiet intensity, fumbled for the phone on his cluttered nightstand. The screen glowed with an unknown number, and his thumb hovered over decline before curiosity won. Hello. His voice was hoarse, braced for bad news. Elias Carter? The voice on the other end was crisp, unfamiliar, a woman's tone laced with urgency. My name is Sylvia Torres. I was your grandmother's lawyer. We need to meet. Tomorrow. It's about her will. Elias froze, his grip tightening. His grandmother, Evelyn Carter, had been buried just hours ago. Her small Baptist church packed with mourners from their tight-knit community. She'd raised him after his parents died in a car accident when he was 8, her fierce love shaping his world. But her will? Evelyn had been a retired schoolteacher, her life modest, her home a cozy bungalow filled with quilted blankets and old jazz records. What could a lawyer want now? I don't understand, Elias said, sitting on the edge of his bed, the city's faint hum seeping through his window. She didn't have much. Why's this urgent? Sylvia's pause was heavy, deliberate. There's something you don't know about her estate. Meet me at the Blue Heron Cafe, 9 a.m. sharp. Come alone. The line went dead. Elias stared at the phone, his pulse racing. Something you don't know. Those words gnawed at him, unraveling the fragile calm he'd clung to since Evelyn's death. He didn't sleep that night, haunted by the mystery of a woman who'd been his rock. Her warm hugs and sharp wit now just memories. By morning, Elias was at the cafe, a quaint spot nestled in Fremont, its walls lined with local art. He wore his favorite denim jacket, a gift from Evelyn, its frayed cuffs grounding him. Sylvia was already there, a middle-aged Puerto Rican woman with sharp eyes and a leather briefcase. She didn't waste time. Your grandmother left you everything, she said, sliding a thick envelope across the table. Her house, her savings, and something else. Something she kept secret until now. Elias frowned, opening the envelope. Inside was a legal document, its pages dense with print, and a handwritten letter in Evelyn's unmistakable scrawl. His chest tightened as he traced her familiar loops and flourishes. What secret? He asked, voice barely above a whisper. Sylvia leaned forward, her gaze steady. Evelyn owned a property in Oregon, a cabin on the coast, worth over $1 million. She never told anyone, not even you. But there's a catch. Her will names you as the sole heir, but only if you meet certain conditions. Conditions? Elias's stomach churned. Evelyn had always been straightforward, her love unconditional despite his coming out as gay at 17. She'd held him through tears, her faith unwavering, even when her church whispered disapproval. What conditions could she possibly set? Sylvia hesitated, then handed him the letter. Read it. She explains everything. Elias unfolded the paper, his hands trembling. Evelyn's words leapt off the page. My dearest Eli, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But my love for you isn't. There's a truth I've kept, not out of shame, but to protect you. The cabin in Yachits is yours, but you must go there and face what I couldn't. Find the box in the attic. It holds my past and your future. Forgive me. He looked up, confusion swirling. What does this mean? What box? What past? Sylvia's expression softened. Evelyn was more than she seemed. That cabin, it's tied to a part of her life she buried long ago. She wants you to uncover it. But there's another issue. Your uncle, Marcus, is contesting the will. He claims the cabin should be his. Elias's jaw tightened. Marcus, his mother's older brother, was a pastor who distanced himself from Elias after he came out. Their last conversation years ago had ended in shouted Bible verses and Elias slamming the door. The idea of Marcus claiming anything of Evelyn's felt like a betrayal. "He can't do that," Elias said, voice low with anger. "She wouldn't want him to have it." "He's hired a lawyer," Sylvia replied. "He's arguing you're not fit to inherit because of your lifestyle. He's pushing for a court battle." The words hit like a punch. Elias's life, his art, his quiet evenings with his boyfriend, Mateo, his small but chosen family, was suddenly under attack. He thought of Mateo, 25, a Latino barista with a contagious laugh and a heart that made Elias feel safe. They'd been together 2 years, building a life in Seattle's vibrant Capitol Hill. Would this fight expose them to more hate? "I'll do whatever it takes," Elias said, folding the letter. "For her." Sylvia nodded. "Then go to Yachet's. Find that box. I'll handle Marcus for now, but you need to move fast." Elias drove to Yachet's the next day, a 4-hour journey from Seattle to Oregon's rugged coast. The cabin was perched on a cliff overlooking the Pacific, its weathered cedar siding blending into the misty landscape. Inside, it smelled of salt and pine, with faded photos and knitted throws evoking Evelyn's presence. Elias's heart ached as he climbed to the attic, Mateo at his side. Mateo, with his warm brown eyes and tousled hair, squeezed Elias's hand. "You okay, amor?" he asked, his voice soft but steady. Elias nodded, though his chest felt tight. I don't know what I'm looking for, or why she hid this." They found the box tucked under a dusty quilt. A wooden chest, its lid carved with roses. Inside were letters, photos, and a journal, all from the 1960s. Elias's hands shook as he read the first letter, addressed to "My beloved Clara." The words were tender, intimate, revealing a love Evelyn had never spoken of. A woman she'd met in college, a romance cut short by societal pressure and family expectations. "She was in love," Elias whispered, tears welling. "With a woman." Mateo read over his shoulder, his arm around Elias. "She never told you?" "No," Elias said, voice breaking. "She carried this alone." The journal detailed Evelyn's struggle, her love for Clara, the pain of their separation when Clara's family forced her to marry, and Evelyn's decision to bury her truth to protect her career and family. The cabin, it turned out, had been their secret meeting place, bought with Evelyn's savings as a young teacher. She'd kept it all these years, a silent monument to her lost love. Elias felt a mix of awe and sorrow. His grandmother, the woman who'd taught him to be brave, had lived a double life. And now, she'd entrusted him with her truth, tying his inheritance to this act of discovery. But why? As they dug deeper, they found a second letter, dated just before Evelyn's death. "Eli, I hid this to shield you from my pain, but I see your courage now, living openly with Mateo. The cabin is yours to honor love, yours, mine, and Clara's. Protect it from those who'd erase us." Elias's resolve hardened. Marcus's challenge wasn't just about money. It was an attempt to silence Evelyn's legacy, to erase the truth of who she was. He and Mateo spent days at the cabin, piecing together Evelyn's story through faded photos and tear-stained pages. Each revelation deepened Elias's love for her, but also his fear. Marcus's lawyer was relentless, digging into Elias's life, twisting his identity into a weapon. Back in Seattle, the legal battle escalated. Marcus's team painted Elias as an outsider, unfit to carry Evelyn's legacy. At a heated court hearing, Elias stood before a judge, his voice steady despite the glares from Marcus's supporters. "My grandmother loved me," he said. "She trusted me with her truth. This isn't about money. It's about honoring who she was." Mateo sat in the gallery, his presence a quiet anchor. When Elias faltered, their eyes met, and Mateo's small nod gave him strength. The judge granted a temporary injunction, allowing Elias to keep the cabin while the case unfolded. But the fight was far from over. Weeks later, Elias and Mateo returned to Yachits, determined to protect the cabin. They found a hidden compartment in the chest, containing a locket with a photo of Evelyn and Clara, their smiles radiant. Elias clutched it, feeling his grandmother's courage flow through him. One evening, under a golden sunset, they stood in the cabin's garden, hands intertwined. "We'll fight for her," Mateo said, his voice fierce with love. "For us." Elias nodded, tears falling. The cabin wasn't just a house. It was a testament to love's resilience, a legacy he'd defend at all costs. As Marcus's threats loomed, Elias knew the battle would test him. But with Mateo by his side and Evelyn's truth in his heart, he was ready. The story wasn't over. The court date loomed, and secrets still lingered in the cabin's walls. But Elias carried a new strength, born of love and loss, ready to face whatever came next.